Good morning, everyone. Today I want to remind you that every day is a blessing. So as we sing today, remember that we are too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Not gonna let me get me down. Not gonna let it push me over. Not gonna let it run me around. Cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Doesn't matter what's on the news. You can't make my mind up for me. I can't hear me sing the blues. Cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I am grateful for each, every breath I take. I am grateful I am wide awake. I am grateful for each passing day. I am grateful. I am grateful. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Don't you know? I'm so blessed.
Good morning, and as always, welcome to our Sunday celebration service. My name is Reverend Richard Pacheco, and as we are following up and finishing up on our 5 basics of the 5 principles, and today is my favorite one, which is number 5, which is about taking the action against the truth you know. With that being said, I definitely want to thank everyone for being here today. I hope you took time to share this out so others can hear it and get to know who we are and what we do. And as always, like and subscribe so you know when the next video drops. Again, Advent is right around the corner, so there'll be a lot more going on. And, as we progress, you'll learn more and more of what's happening. So with that being said, let's take time in prayer. Let's breathe in. Just knowing that we are in this presence we know is God. We know that it flows in and through all of us and is always within us. We are never disconnected. There is never anything that we lack, no matter what our perception outside of us is. We release the outer world as we sit in gratitude for being here today, knowing we were divinely guided to watching this either live or later on in the week, and to get the message and put it into action, which is the most important part. As always, we are here to help ourselves become the best of ourselves and to move forward in truth. And we know it's already working because we say it isn't so we let it be. And we affirm this with an amen.
Been a storm brewing inside of me, clouds moving around my heart. Something's changing that I can't see. I'm stuck in what I know is safe, but not yet where I'm supposed to. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something that I've never felt before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? 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 They say that pain pushes till the vision pulls. It feels like my safety nets have fallen down. I wish I had a map of where to go. Got this feeling deep inside that when I get there I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something that I've never done before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? 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 I wanna make a move right now, though I don't know when or how. When I trust and know the truth, my heart will point the way. There is more of me to share, so today I do declare I will take that step in faith and let my light shine. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something that I've never seen before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? Feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? 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 Yeah. Just love. Just love. Just love. That's what
And as we move into this time of meditation, let's go ahead and close our eyes so gently. And if you don't want to close your eyes, you can do a soft gaze downward. As we take our first breath in, deep into the abdomen, expanding our stomach and our lungs. And we breathe out, releasing any anxiety, any pain that might be in our body. We breathe in again as we begin to release the outer world and move back into this center place, this presence, as we release the past, worries, and the future anxieties. And on our third deep breath, we sink deeper into our chair or our bed or whatever we are meditating at, knowing that we are in this present moment. We allow our shoulders to relax a bit more, and we allow it all to flow out. And as we just follow our breath in and out, we know that we are here, present in this moment, present in this time, seeing what is ours to do, listening for that small message within us. And as we move deeper into our meditation, let us take into our words and into our mental house our daily word, which is guidance. It says, I use divine wisdom to find my way. When I'm pondering a perplexing question or I need to make an important choice, I reach beyond human reasoning to the limitless wisdom of divine mind, never further away than my next thought. After clarifying my question and considering my available options, I release the situation, focusing instead of divine presence on the divine presence within. And I affirm I am using divine wisdom to show me the way. In prayerful silence, peace envelops me. As I conclude my prayer time and resume my activities, I may experience a flash of insight or more gradual understanding. However it happens, I trust my next steps will become clear to me. Confident in my divine guidance, I move forward with calm assurance. But strive first for the kingdom of God and for his righteousness, and all things will be given to you as well, which is our scripture from Matthew 6, verse 33. And we give thanks for being here today in our meditation time. We sit here knowing that we are in the loving presence of God. We are in a peaceful presence. We know that our outer perspective is dictated by our ego, and we bring ourselves internally to see through divine eyes. And we take a moment just to go into the silence. And as we return to this time and place, we give thanks, knowing that all that we heard and all that we are doing is already done. As we do the work that is ours to do, we do it with faith, we do it with strength, we do it with love. And we release it into the universe, knowing. And we say once again, we're so grateful. We know it's working because we say it isn't, so it isn't, so we let it be. When we return from this meditation into this time and place, we take a deep breath. And when we feel so moved, go ahead and open our eyes as we move into our next.
God forbid love. Heaven might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
It's a living goes on motion.
I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
Want to look back on the distance.
I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
It's a living goes on motion.
I hope you dance. I hope you
Want to look back on the distance.
dance. I hope you dance.
Tell me who.
I hope you dance.
So glad you're here today as we move into our next lesson, which is the fifth principle in the unity movement. So we start off looking at Matthew 17:20, where he says, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." And usually this is the part we get stuck at, because we have the other four principles that we work through. But most of those are knowing and affirming before we actually do what's necessary and take action. So principle number 5 is knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. So I know for me personally, I spent many years reading books and attending seminars and things like that. But the one thing I never did was take action on it. I could tell you all about it. I was excited about it. I was that. And it wasn't until I heard Reverend Diane one time tell the story about the young lady who was bulimic and was on a talk show. And they started asking her questions. And one of the questions they asked her was, what was her hobby? And she said, well, my hobby is I love to read cookbooks. So, of course, there was a gasp in the audience. Everybody's like, wait, what a minute, what's going on? And the guy goes, okay, so how are you suffering from bulimia if you read cookbooks? She goes, I never cooked. I just read the cookbooks. And it clicked to me that no matter what it is that you do, if there's nothing behind it, if you're following everything else but what is in the teachings and the practices that you want to do, it's useless. So we know that the first of the 4 or 5 principles are about shifting consciousness before changing behavior. As I said, next week we'll be talking about the 4 conscious levels that Unity teaches, and we're talking about how to move from victim level up, and how moving from victim mentality, which is more of our ego, that individualized personality that we create by what's outside of us, and moving into a place where we hear the calling inside of who we truly are. So, using the first 4 principles, we constitute a handy checklist of basically taking action. So first we do is we affirm divine intelligence and love in this situation. So as we begin to look at the situation, it could be something scary, it could be something exciting, it could be something that you're moving into. We first want to know that divine intelligence is part of this situation. It says, then I remember my own divinity and that of others that are involved. We see God in ourselves, we see God in everyone, we see the good in ourselves, the good in everyone, no matter what. Do I take responsibility for attracting this situation into my experience and know that the outcome for me will match my thoughts and feelings about it? So, of course, this goes back to that thoughts held in mind produce of its kind. So we're looking at this situation now and saying, did I attract this into my life at this point? And then finally, have I aligned myself with God, the universe, the good, and received guidance before I act? This is the act of prayer and meditation, when we're listening for that still small voice, as they say, inside of us. We're listening for that movement forward. You know, it is sometimes we have to understand that by going through those levels and then finally taking the action that we are prescribed to do, we find ourselves in situations that are scary. We find ourselves in situations that are, you know, implicit. But the point is, taking action can be anything. You know, born and raised in New York City and stuff, coming up, we tend to be bombarded by the styles, the mannerisms, the way people are. Depending on who our circle of friends are, we may be influenced, both good and bad. And again, I don't like to label, just influenced, whether it is for our good or for their good, or whether it's or it serves us. We are influenced from the outside. Those influences usually are what brings and builds our ego individual attitude, but may not serve us internally. So we use these 4 principles to align ourselves to that last point of taking right action. And that's what's important. We can take any action, but we must take right action. Now, we've heard many of time people say we fake it until we make it. I like to use act as if, which is basically you walk in faith knowing that whatever the action you need to take is to go forth and do what you need to do. We are here, you know, whether it be I'm a dad, minister, whatever it is, I need to move past what my ego says and know that I'm doing the right thing and keep moving. Even when the outer perspectives are making me feel like imposter or other ways of feeling, you want to keep moving. And that's what for me is active as if. Fake it till you make it, to me, just personally, the word fake it, you know, we know the connotation behind it is good intentions, but if I'm constantly affirming that I'm faking it, I feel like I'm not growing anywhere. So again, that's a personal perspective for myself, if not you. You know, we looked at moving in right directions in different ways. We know the story of MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You know, a woman lost her child to a drunk driver, and she went through her emotions and all that. Are we moving, you know, and she moved in a way that she ended up creating Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which helps so many parents out there and so many others who have lost people to, you know, drunk drivers, car accidents, things like that. So that's using her way of saying, hey, what can I do with this grief inside of me? Again, whether it's friendships, whether it's relationships, whether it's school, it doesn't matter. It could be anything. As long as we look at the situation, we go in with, you know, compassion and empathy. We look at each other, you know, whether, again, if it's a company and I'm working for a job and a boss comes and does something, of course, first might be my, you know, instinct of being upset about it. But then I need to empathize and look at the situation, then go through my checklist. We know that the good is in this situation somewhere. We know that we move with it. We know that the person or the persons that are involved are also part of this divinity. I look at if my thinking, whether I'm thinking negative, being influenced from outside, whatever, has brought me to this place that I'm making a decision from an emotional point of view rather than an actual, and this, what serves me. And then finally, is did I spend time in that place to hear what I need to hear and move in action now? So we know that energy flows where attention goes, and it may go to the positive or negative side of an issue. So I know when we talk about Mother Teresa, she used to have a saying that said, I will never attend an anti-war rally, but I will definitely attend a peace rally. Because if you have hundreds of people focused on anti-war, anti-drugs, anti-this, you're creating an energy that's bringing a focus more to the bad part of the drugs or bad part of war. So of course, if we come for a peace rally, we're focused on peace. We're sending out love. We're sending out this. Now, is either one technically bad? No. But it's where we put our energy that makes a difference. So an example that from Eckhart Tolle, his book A New Earth, he says sometimes people with such dense pain bodies become activists fighting for a cause. The cause may indeed be worthy, and they may be sometimes successful at first in getting things done. However, the negative energy that flows into what they say and do and their unconscious need for enemies and conflict tend to generate increasing opposition to their cause. Usually they also end up creating enemies within their own organization because wherever they go, they find a reason for feeling bad, and so their pain body continues to feel exactly what it is looking for. So again, here's where we're putting our energy. So putting principle into action starts as an inside job. To bring peace to the world, be peaceful. That means not yelling at the kids or making obscene gestures at other drivers. It means patience in the grocery line, even if the person in front of you is clearly has more than 10 items for the express line. You don't have to find a solution for the Middle East to contribute peace to the planet. If enough people begin to be peaceful, peace will erupt on earth just as violence does now. Try treating each person you meet as a messiah in disguise. Try taking responsibility for what you have created in your life and what your family, your city, country, and the human species have created together. Try spending some time alone to remember your connection to spirit and move ego aside to let its divine flow through you. So the author is giving us a roadmap here. By the same token, focusing on whatever we dislike empowers it as well. So this explains self-fulfilling prophecies. We predict something bad will happen, and it does. What we focus on grows, whatever our focus are positive or negative. This is metaphysics, which means above or beyond the physical. Most of our experience have elements of both. I mean, you've seen this. Your mind turns into an angry state, and then all of a sudden everything's falling apart on you outside. I use the example of The Secret, where there's two scenarios where the person stubs their toe, it hurts, they're pissed off, they spend their day, and everything just seems to cascade into serious, unfortunate events. The second person stubs their toe, feels the pain and laughs about it and says, okay, whatever. And their day goes well because they're focused only on the good that can happen. Charles Fillmore says, pronounce every experience good and of God. And by that mental attitude, you will call forth only the good. What seemed error will disappear and only the good will remain. This is the law and no one can break it. So as we move through this, we understand that the fifth principle is about action, but it still has to take part in the right action. So an example here again, you are at a buffet table laden with food. Some of it you like, some of it you don't. Would you throw a tantrum about the food you don't like, insisting that it be removed? Or would you condemn the people who enjoy the particular dish? Or would you simply focus on what you like and ignore the rest? So this is where we come into that. We come into that area where we look at our life, we look at our situations, we look at things and we say, okay, I'm not focusing on the bad. I'm focusing on the good of whatever it is. I'm grateful for what I have and what's going on. And I look to grow that more. So at the buffet, somebody may like a certain type of food that everybody seems to like. But when they return, it may be there. It may be something of that nature, maybe nothing. Maybe just sitting at the table in that feeling makes it taste so much better. And that's where we come through when we come and do right action. So we're talking about Imelda Octavia Shacklin said in the book, What Are You? Is power in life in earth in heaven lies in the ability to minister. And we've all said it. I may hold the title, but we're all ministers in our own way. Service is coordination with the laws of being, and it is the laws of heaven. So again, as above, so below. When our mind brings up an idea and we feel that it's right, we take those steps to make sure that it's not right in the comfort area, but that it's truly who we're supposed to be. We receive challenges, we receive things that we have to move through. It's not always easy, but we still go through those steps each time, and each time becomes easier to walk through that. So we know a lot of people are asking, well, what about the negative stuff we see? How do we take action on that stuff? So the author says, try an experiment. Watch the news for 5 minutes while thinking, we are all doomed, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Notice how you feel. What's on the news? Watch another 5 minutes while thinking the world is an awesome place. Now how do you feel? We see the world through our own filters. Filters is another word for consciousness. Nothing enters or leaves our experience without being sifted through the filters of our belief, assumptions, and history. Jesus suggested that we be in the world and not of it. And this is what we talk about when we're talking about outside influences. We're in this world and everybody has their own perspective. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody comes and media and TV has us thinking about lack. What are we missing? What are we that? When in reality, we have everything we want. We may have everything we want right in front of us, but because we keep getting this influence, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not whatever. And we're affirming all of this over and over. And we watch media, we watch whatever, we watch the movies. And these things keep getting ingrained. And at times we'll sit there and say, no, it's our own thoughts. But in reality, we're reprogramming that subconscious mind, that filter, that consciousness that they're talking about. That even though the good is coming through, it's filtering through going, it's not enough. Or maybe it's bad. It's not what I want. But that goodness is trying to come through saying, hey, hello, I'm here. Listen up. Jesus, when we talk about faith without works is dead, Jesus didn't sit on a mountaintop and wait for people to come to him for wisdom. He walked all over Israel to teach and heal. He also took breaks to realign his consciousness with the universe, God, the one, before he resumed any kind of actions. And again, we are all different in some ways, and we all work in different ways, but we all come out to the same result, and many times. So take any action that helps align your vibration with that which you desire. Close the gap between who you are and where you want to be. Feel it first and watch it happen. Living truth will take as many forms as there are people on earth. Some will look very busy taking action, some won't. What truly matters is what's going on in their hearts, minds, and whatever you never can tell by looking. Each of us is creating for ourselves and according to our soul's path, our levels of awareness and inspired action. Our vibrations, every thought, every feeling contribute to the one mind, which means every thought and feeling becomes part of the whole. Forever it matters. So James, which in chapter 1, verse 22, he says, do not merely listen to the word, so deceive yourself. Do what it says. And he says, whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. Philippians 4:9. So though this may not be a long talk, again, it is most important about taking action, but taking right action. We take that action that comes from deep within ourselves. I remember hearing one person saying one time is, I receive an idea and then I start to think about it and talk about it and whatever. And it was Mel Robbins who wrote a book called The 5-Second Rules. That she says, when you get that idea, no matter how scary, however, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act upon it. Because a lot of times we start talking ourselves out of it and we spend time doing that. And what that does is it leads us off the path rather than on the path. Because our perspective sometimes can be skewed by what's outside of us. So again, 5 principles. Learn them, use them, and an easy way to remember it is I am, God is, I am, I think, I pray, I live it. And repeat that to yourselves. Some people add a beat to it, some people add music to it. And it is to remind you that when you're in situations that you need to go through, what each principle is and how you go through the steps to the final step, which is taking action. So let us go into a quick meditation as we close our eyes and we say, what is mine to do? How are we to serve? We have come to this human experience not just for ourselves, but for others, and I stand ready to share God's love with them. That love expresses through us and as us. We make ourselves ready. We ask for our perfect place of service. We live the truth knowing that God is all that we are, is all, and that we are God, and that we are co-creators, and that we never separate from divine radiance. We let our light shine to illuminate those in darkness. We let our heart expand for those who need love. We give as it has been given to us, and we are grateful for all of us. And so it is, and we will see you in our talk next week.
Everybody got a little something you can only bring. It's a puzzle, put it all together. Need every piece to make it complete. Yeah. Every note to make a symphony. All the voices singing harmony. All the colors of the rainbow shining. Everyone, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Yes. Say yes to a world with a little more love. Like a tiny little grain of sand. What you do, what you say makes a difference. Go ahead and reach out your hand. Open the door, say hello. A stranger today, you might get to know them. A little love just keeps on growing. Change your life without even knowing. Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes. To a world with a little more love.
So I hope you got something from our lesson, our music today. Again, the 5 principles are an easy way to focus yourself in knowing that you're following in these principles in life and in everything else. It's an easy no, but it is definitely worth it. And even in the times where the answers you receive are the scariest ones, that's when you walk in faith and know what you're doing. So with that being said, as always, this is a time that we hope that you receive something from the lesson, and it's your time to practice giving in the law of giving and receiving. And our website is up again at weesc.org. You can use that to donate, or right on our YouTube channel, go to the top, you'll see a donate switch, or on the about page on our YouTube channel, and you can donate to help continue this ministry continue to grow and to bring you more of these unity teachings, as next week we'll be moving into the 4 consciousness and how we move through that. So with that being said, let's virtually or physically hold our gifts in our hands, move it to our heart, and affirm together: divine love as me, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I circulate, and the knowledge of who I truly am. And so it is. and we allow it to go out and do the work that is meant to do. And as always, I am grateful for you being here. Hope to see you next Sunday. Love you. Nothing you can do about it. And let's end together with the prayer of protection as we say the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us, and wherever we are, God is, and all is well.